Why nobody was fat in 1970s in America? Something that has to do with low processed food, lifestyle changes, no social media. Like, I think it's really simple, but also not really simple because the alternative is very complicated and very divergent from a normal life of a normal American. And I'm not only talking about Americans, I'm talking about Europeans, I'm talking about the whole world. It's not only Americans, but this video is specifically about Americans. So let's check out the whole truth.
Look at any photograph from 1970s America. A crowded beach on a hot summer day, a city sidewalk on a Monday morning, a school cafeteria at lunchtime, a shopping mall on a Saturday afternoon. Notice anything? Nobody is fat. Not just a few people, not just the athletes, everyone.
These are like
the dads,
models.
the moms, the teenagers, the kids, the grandparents, an entire nation of slim people eating hamburgers, drinking Coca-Cola, going to McDonald's, and never once counting a single calorie. How did they do it? And what happened to us? That is exactly what this video is about. In 1970, only 13% of American adults were considered obese. Today, that number is 42%, nearly triple in just 50 years. And here is the part that should stop you cold.
A lot of these pictures are AI, right?
Americans in the 1970s were not disciplined fitness fanatics. They were not on special diets. They were not counting macros or doing intermittent fasting. They ate white bread, butter, red meat, whole milk.
It's so fascinating that they ate all of these things that today we consider like high carbs, 100% avoid, you know? And this is like a daily thing, by the way.
Went to McDonald's. They drank Coke and they were slim. Something changed between then and now. Not the food itself, at least not entirely. Something deeper changed. The entire way Americans live their daily lives, and once you understand what that world actually looked like, you will never look at your dinner plate the same way again. In 1970s America, dinner came from the kitchen, not from a drive-through window, not from an app on your phone, not from a freezer box with a microwave symbol on the side. Mom cooked every single night. Meatloaf on Monday, pork chops on Wednesday, a whole roasted chicken on Sunday that became soup on Monday, and sandwiches on Tuesday. Nothing was wasted. Every meal was built around stretching ingredients as far as they could go. And because someone stood at that stove for an hour, portions were controlled, naturally, without thinking about it. You ate what was cooked, you cleaned your plate, and then dinner was over. Nobody drove to McDonald's at midnight. Nobody ordered a second pizza. There was no second pizza.
There's no snacking.
The kitchen closed after dinner, and that invisible boundary kept an entire generation slim without anyone ever trying.
So what also makes me wonder, is it those snacks that we have at really late night? Is it us eating really late at night what makes us fat or obese? Because I could go the whole day not eating, but then really get hungry at like 10 in the evening, you know? And then start craving at like really late night.
Here's something that will genuinely surprise you. A McDonald's regular Coca-Cola in 1970 was 7 ounces. Today, a medium Coke is 21 ounces and a large is 30. The original McDonald's hamburger weighed 1.6 ounces. Today's quarter pounder is 4 ounces before cooking.
Bro, like the left is what we get in Germany. This is the normal burger
and that
size.
is considered the small option. A standard dinner plate in the 1970s
Americans
was
would be
9
really
inches
hungry in
across.
McDonald's here.
Today, the average dinner plate is 12. Same food, 40% more of it, every single day for 50 years. Nobody sat down and decided to become overweight. The world around them simply kept putting more on the plate, and the human brain, wired since prehistoric times to finish what is in front of it, obliged every single time. We did not become less disciplined. The portions became less reasonable. In 1970s America, there were 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That was it.
6 p.m.
No
dinner. And
mid-morning
after
snack,
that,
no
nothing.
afternoon handful of chips, no protein bar at 4 p.m., no mindless eating in front of the television at 10 at night.
I got called out hard.
If you were hungry between meals, your mother said the same four-word
I'm sick. I'm sick. I don't snort like that. I'm sick.
every American child saw and heard 1,000 times growing up: wait until dinner. And you did, because there was nothing to eat. The pantry was not full of individually wrapped snack foods. The refrigerator did not have 14 kinds
Yeah,
of
things you
yogurt.
have to
There
make.
was
Yep.
food for meals, not food for boredom. And
Mm-hmm.
that gap between meals, that ordinary, unremarkable hunger, was doing something remarkable to American waistlines. It was keeping them small. Today, the average
Oh
American
my
eats or
God,
drinks
look at
something
that.
every
Yep.
2.5 hours. That is not hunger, that is habit. And it is a habit that did not exist in 1970. In the
Mm.
1970s, children went outside after school and did not come back until the streetlights came on.
Yep.
No one organized it, no parent drove them to practice, no coach scheduled the activity. They just
Just,
went outside and
yeah.
moved. They rode bikes for miles. They played pickup baseball in the empty lot down the street. They built forts. They ran. They climbed trees. They got scraped knees and came home filthy and exhausted. And they
And
did
hungry.
this every single
Yep.
day for the entire summer. The average 1970s child walked or biked to school.
And it's so important as a child, like to have that because your metabolism actually like learns. And these things, I feel like when you are older, it manifests. Like if you had a childhood where you were sitting a lot and you ate really bad food, I feel like you would gain weight really quicker when you are older then, and your habits also would follow
Today, fewer than 1
suit.
in 10 do. And those kids were not doing this for fitness. They were not burning calories on purpose. They were
Yeah, it's just
just
lifestyle.
living. Moving was simply what children did because the alternative, sitting inside staring at a screen, did not exist yet. That daily effortless movement burned thousands of calories a week without a gym membership, without a fitness tracker, without anyone even noticing. Open a 1970s refrigerator, and here is what you would find: milk, real whole milk, eggs, butter, a block of cheese, leftovers in a covered dish, last night's pot roast or a bowl of soup that would become tonight's dinner, maybe a bottle of Coca-Cola for the weekend, one bottle for the whole family. What you would not find: individually packaged snack packs, 6 flavors of flavored yogurt, a drawer full of energy drinks, pre-made frozen meals for every night of the
Mm-hmm.
week. The 1970s refrigerator was stocked for
Yep.
cooking, not for grazing. Food was an ingredient, not entertainment. And that single difference between a kya, a kitchen built for cooking, and a kitchen built for constant snacking, explains more about America's weight gain than almost anything else. In
True.
1970, the average American consumed about 40 pounds of added sugar per year. Today, that number is 152 pounds, nearly 4 times as much. In the 1970s, soda was a treat. You had it at a birthday party, at a baseball game, at a summer cookout. Not at every meal, not in a giant cup with free refills, not in your lunchbox every single day.
Oh
And
yeah.
high fructose corn syrup, the cheap, intensely sweet ingredient that now appears in everything from bread to ketchup to salad dressing, barely existed yet.
Yeah. Highly
It
processed
became
food, yeah.
widely used in American food in the early 1980s, and within a decade,
That's it.
the obesity rate began its long, steep climb. Coincidence? The scientists who have studied this question for the last 40 years do not think so.
They add sweetener to keep you hooked. because if you drink Coca-Cola today, you will crave it tomorrow, and then you're going to go and buy it tomorrow. So they know what they're doing. That's a business thing.
When sweetness was rare, it was something you noticed, something you appreciated, something you did not consume by the pound without realizing it. In 1970s America, adults moved all day long without ever calling it exercise. Dads mowed
Were there office jobs or anything like that back then? Like sedentary stuff? I'm sure there were.
the lawn with a push mower. Moms carried groceries home from the store. Workers stood at assembly lines and loading docks for 8 hours a day. There were no riding lawnmowers in every garage, no leaf blowers, no robotic vacuums. If the house needed cleaning, someone cleaned it, by hand on their knees with a bucket and a mop. The average American in 1975 walked nearly 50% more per day than Americans walk
That's
today.
so true.
Not because they were trying to be healthy,
They
but
had
because
to.
the world required it.
Yeah, and like it's just a lifestyle thing. Now you have to consciously go out and get your steps. Yeah, right? Like now it's like it's a workout. Every type of movement like that, if your job is sedentary, that is, if you're working in an office or whatever, then everything before and after your work hours, it's like you have to consciously think about moving because it's not a thing. It's literally not a thing.
Cars were less common, suburbs were less spread out, everything was slightly harder. And that friction, that small daily resistance,
literally makes
was
you want to think
burning
like
calories
30 days of
constantly without
moving a lot
anyone
every
keeping
single day and see
score.
how that will
The
do.
gym did not
That would
replace
work for me.
movement. Movement was already everywhere. Yes, McDonald's existed in the 1970s. So did Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Dairy Queen.
But that was like once a week.
But here is the difference. Going to McDonald's in 1975 was an event,
Yeah.
a Friday night treat,
Yep.
a reward for something special, a birthday celebration, something that happened maybe once or twice a month, if that, not 3 times a week,
Yep.
not on the way home from every practice, not every Tuesday because nobody felt like cooking. And the food itself was different. Smaller portions, simpler ingredients, no supersizing, no value meals engineered to make you eat more than you intended. Just a hamburger, some fries, and a small Coke. It was a treat. And treats, when they are actually rare, do not make you fat. It was the moment fast food stopped being a treat and became a habit that everything changed. Something shifted in America in the 1980s. Actually, several things shifted at exactly the same time. High fructose corn syrup entered the food supply and made everything cheaper and sweeter. Both parents entered the workforce, and home cooking became something that happened less and less.
No.
Portion sizes began creeping upward at every restaurant in America. Television
Cinema.
watching increased, children spent more time indoors, and snack food companies discovered that individually packaged portions sold more product than anything else. Drive-through windows multiplied, frozen dinners improved, delivery became easier. None of these changes were dramatic, none of them felt dangerous. Each one alone was barely noticeable. But together, over 10 years...
So I guess both parents working, having to keep up with today's economy is the reason for obesity. In a way, if you think about it.
Then 20, then 30.
It's the fault of the
they
government.
quietly, completely transformed the way Americans ate and moved, and the waistlines in the old photographs began to look like
There's
something
no
from
one on
another
the street
world.
playing
The people in those
anymore.
1970s photographs
Dude,
were
I wasn't even born in 1980s. I was born in the 1990s and I was playing outside, okay? So don't do that. Kids were still playing in the 80s and even in the 90s. The 2000s things changed.
not special. They were not more disciplined than us. They did not have better genetics. They were not trying harder. They were simply
Their
living in a
metabolism
world
was-
that made staying slim the path of least resistance. A world where food was cooked at home, where portions were modest, where children played outside, where snacking between meals was
Such a
not even a
simpler life,
concept,
man.
where sugar was a luxury
And like the dopamine thing that you would get is from playing outside and doing those activities until the sun sets. Like now we get dopamine from every single angle from our screens, every single screen we have around us. Like we don't even have the need to go outside and experience the world. But somehow you remember the days and the times you were outside, the vacations that you spent outside hiking, doing stuff. Like it's still so unique and so different and so much better for your soul and yourself that your body craves it, even though you're lazy as f to do it. But your body really knows what that, like the dopamine shots that you get from those activities and those days are better than the ones you get from your screen.
movement was unavoidable. They did not count a single calorie. They did not track their steps. They
And you
did
don't
not
even
read
have to.
nutrition
Yeah.
labels or follow wellness influencers or subscribe to meal delivery kits. They just lived. And that way of living, simple, unoptimized, completely taken for granted, kept an entire nation naturally and effortlessly slim. We did not lose our willpower. We lost the world that made willpower unnecessary. If this video
True.
made you think
That was
or made
such an
you a
amazing
little
video, even though he used a lot of like AI and stuff. But I do like the video, and the whole channel has like the same idea, Vintage America Rewind. I genuinely like it, and some of this info that I got from this video makes me realize the difference between 1970s and today and why it is like this. It doesn't mean that it is not possible for us to be slim or fit or whatever, but it does come with extra hard work and discipline. A lot of us do lack that, and it is very difficult for us. Like, we really need to prioritize our health, to prioritize going out, movement, eating healthy. And it does feel like hard work, but at the end of the day, it definitely will pay off, because you are going to be a healthier person. You are going to live longer. You are going to have really fabulous picture to look at, like when you want to check your albums and stuff, you know, like this, and you are going to feel better within your own skin. So at the end of the day, it does pay off, but it is not easy. It's not like it came off with the lifestyle. They had it so easy in 1970, they didn't even think about it. Now we really need to actively think about it and do it. And makes me wonder, what if like I prioritize everything that I heard in this video for 30 days to see like the outcome? And one of the most important thing is like cooking every day. And the other thing would be moving every day, like moving a lot. Besides working, like moving whenever I can. And these are the things that I feel would make a difference in my life. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree, disagree? What would you do differently? And do you have any more info to share with me? I love this. I love to talk about stuff like this. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and see you in the next one. Bye!